this morning is Gary Cottle, of course, the CEO of Valereum PLC, after the company has announced their intention to list on the OTC Markets in New York. Gary, welcome. How are you?
And Mark, morning. I'm really well, thank you. Another exciting day for us. So, it's another good day. Another little stepping stone in the right direction.
Absolutely, yes. So the OTC listing, this will unlock access to those North American investors, won't it? Is there some sort of bigger picture here? You mentioned stepping stones, and we've talked a bit about maybe going to a NASDAQ.
It is, right. So we number one, we've been seeking to expand our investor base for I guess since we reformed Valereum. So that's been openly stated as part of our progression. That ultimately we're looking to expand the business to the point we're eligible and it's the right fit for a proper main market US listing. Obviously, NASDAQ is Nirvana. NYSE is also a pretty good place to do. So whether we jump straight to NASDAQ or we have to go via NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, remains to be seen. There's a couple of crucial things that we need to do. We obviously need to make sure we've got sustainable revenues and a sustainable business to make sure if we can get there, we can stay there. So all of our efforts for the last year have been in trying to build a business, build partnerships, build a viable investor that's with us for the long term. They're all stepping stones, and they're all little pieces of the jigsaw puzzle to hopefully at one point get us to a. And this is partly, the whole intent of Aquis. It's a growth exchange, and it's a success story if you can have companies migrate to those bigger exchanges. Not to stay there forever. So we're hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll be one of those success stories. But getting US investors, we've actually been courted really heavily the last couple of months, particularly since we relisted by US, not small caps, but certainly US news agencies to kind of tell them more what we're doing. A lot of it's obviously incredibly relevant to what's going on in the US. In forms of tokenization. So in the right direction, another little piece of the puzzle gets put together on the table.
Well, it's interesting what you say about sort of being courted. Are you seeing a lot of American interest then? Because I know it's important once a company gets onto a North American listing to really help with to do some work with the PR side of it to make sure that the message is getting out there. But you're saying you've already sort of got a bit of a head start on that, maybe.
We've had a lot of inbounds, and I think we'll pull the trigger on two of them, which are big exposure items.
Okay.
So and I think it helps with a couple of the deals we're working on. Getting into front of Forbes, getting in front of things like Bloomberg.
Sure.
We've a lot of the I guess not people not dissimilar to yourselves, but people who have very big reach to. I think they're called pink slip investors. So I think the smaller growth markets in the US. So we've had a lot of that. Some of these people, they've got access to like 1 million people on their databases. So we have had quite a bit of inbound traffic in the last month of, can we do podcasts? Can we come on and talk about what we're doing? Can we talk about, we've formed a bunch of partnerships with US centric. So we've done Injective, we've done Integra, we've done RWA, which these guys have been in the US now for the last couple of months. So a lot of the I guess focus and attention is America's centric. We were lucky enough to be in El Salvador, so in the kind of Central South American piece. But it's they come hand in hand. So listing on OTC. Very useful next step for us. But also you've got to be able to engage with US investors as part of that to make sure they know what we're doing, they believe in what the roadmap is. We're likely to announce probably one of our big cornerstone tokens in the next month, the next 3 or 4 weeks. And that we think is, we'll get an awful lot of traffic in the US.
Excellent. You mentioned this cornerstone token. What's that then? What have you been working on in the background?
Which again, if we recap on the previous discussions, so the one of the main reasons why the QGP folks decided to invest is they're a very dominant force in the royalty and streaming business, which is really in gold, silver, bauxite, magnesium. So they've been in those businesses for several years. They are they've got, I guess, multi-billion-dollar contracts. Obviously, we've seen gold nearly double in under a year. So all those people that bought reserves, bought production, sites over the last 4 or 5 years, which QGP have said that's what they've been doing. They've all done incredibly well because and you probably see this yourself, right? The number of mines trying to come back on stream now, they're growing by the day. Now they're all really looking for one thing, really. They're looking for capital. So the token that we've been working with QGP on, which is an amalgam of the work they previously have done. They've invested in quite a few other similar tokens, actually, which are gold tokens. We hope to be able to announce that in the coming weeks. That will be a very big, so backed by multi-billion-dollar reserves and production sites. So it's an ecosystem play. So it's digital gold. So we're not going to compete with the tether gold. It's access to the entire life cycle. And if an investor stakes their token, that the capital that they effectively buy that token with will go to invest in a lot of the projects. There's hundreds of projects out there of mines looking for cash to start production. So that's incredibly low risk. Some of it's tailings, so that's really low risk. And then there's some other stuff. There'll be some reserves. So all the things that exploration companies are looking for, whether it's NI 43101 measured and inspected reserves. So we'll be focusing on that. It's an entire ecosystem life cycle play for gold. So we're not just buying gold bullion. We'll obviously have some of that. It'll be much broader than that and much deeper, all the way going into the equity of companies in the exploration sector. Right. And QGP already have a number of those investments to effectively be the cornerstone investor for that.
Excellent. Well, we had sort of talked about that concept before, so it's great to see that's really now becoming something tangible. So I guess in the next few weeks we can expect to see more on that.
Well, we've obviously got to go and get regulatory. We've spent the last month structuring it. We put a team together about a month ago. We are all pretty happy. We think it's viable. We think it's a very investable token. We think it can, number one, attract significant investment, and it will also attract an awful lot of the miners who are looking for capital. So we think it's got access to all sides and to bullion and gold buyers. So we think it's multifaceted. We've got to go through the regulatory process. So we're in that part of it now, making sure we've got all the right documentation. We will wish to probably start with a private token. So we'll kind of learn our lessons and our mistakes, not in the full glare of a public token. So we'll probably do that for a couple of months, and then hopefully, what are we now? We're March. I guess in the next 2 or 3 months, the ultimate goal is retail, but we'll probably step private, institutional, industrial buyers and investors, and then to retail indirectly partnered up.
Excellent, good stuff. Exciting times, Gary. Well, thanks very much for joining us today.
More exciting times. No problem. Thanks, Mark. Really good to be on again. Thank you very much.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.